I would expect it to get back over here. To me, that's annoying. To some people, that's perfectly acceptable. Just illegal to change lanes in the middle of an intersection. Surprised it's going that fast. Yeah, I'm not going to let it do that. Well, good morning. I'm doing my Coldwater route today. So I'm going from here in Grand Rapids down to Galesburg, then Coldwater, then Battle Creek, then back to Grand Rapids. It's going to be a nice, easy day. I sure hope so anyway. I left the house at 85%. I'm sitting at 84% because I did cool the car down. It was 100 degrees in here, even this early in the morning, and that's kind of gross. You know, whatever. Uh, all of these are new facilities, so they shouldn't be very long stops. So hopefully we're going to take it easy today. First facility is 1 hour, 9 minutes away at 61 miles, and I'll get there at 64%. So I had a commenter named, I think it's Moses, but he had a 9 in the middle of it, so Mo9sis. I don't know. Maybe he'll correct me on this video on how to pronounce it. He wanted me to do a drive in standard to see if I have the same issues as I do in hurry. So there I put it on standard. I will leave it there as long as I possibly can. In my taste, standard drives too slow for me. But I will feel better about it on the highway because it will favor the right lane instead of the passing lane. So we'll see how that goes. This one's for you, bud. All right. So off we go. I hope you guys enjoy the ride. We're going to ignore that little quirk at the beginning and pray that standard isn't goofy like that all day. Because, oh, and here's another problem. Now, hurry does the same thing. It just turns left at that roundabout sometimes. It did show on the screen as a roundabout, so I don't know why the car did that. It's going to be a learning experience for both of us because or for all of us rather, because I don't drive on standard. I'm almost exclusively hurry mode. The only time I drop down to standard is when it's raining really hard and the car has limited its speed on the highway. Device detected in hand. I've got my hash browns here. I do have something in my hand, so I'll give it credit. I'm a little surprised by that. It got into the slower lane for some reason. And it's cutting back in way closer to the lead car than I would have expected. It is doing it because there's somebody coming up on us, but it's still surprising. And this is what I'm talking about. We're doing 61 and a 60, fine, but hurry would have passed and shot up to 80 or whatever and not sat here. To me, that's annoying. To some people, that's perfectly acceptable. I find it annoying because that's not how people drive, as you can see. And two, I drive long distances, and the faster I get somewhere, the better. Driving at this pace for the distances that I drive could add the length of one of my visits to my day. But that's my justification for it. I would expect it to get back over here. Huh. It's kind of surprising. There's nobody behind us. right, there's someone coming up behind us now. I assume the car is going to pass this pack of semis. Assumption correct. So there's someone right behind me. They're coming up pretty quick. They've eased off a little bit. They're giving us a good follow distance. So maybe we'll get over after we pass this Ford. We should. All right, perfect. Okay, so 0.7 miles to our exit, and we're still passing. I can respect that. It was just fine. This is going to be interesting because the car always tries to stick to the right lane when the right lane turns into a right lane only, right turn only. We need to be in the lane that these buses are in. Hurry struggles here as well. The question is, how will it handle it? Hurry will just shoot over to the left lane in the middle of the intersection. Standard's pretty much stuck now. Yeah, I'm not going to let it do that. FSD picked the wrong lane. It was going to try to turn or go straight in a right turn only lane. All right, we'll let the car figure out what it needs to do to fix that. I believe Hurry would have performed the exact same way there. And what's even funnier is I think the car would have been able to pull off that maneuver correctly. It's just illegal to change lanes in the middle of an intersection. That is the only reason I took over. Okay. Just hit the brakes there. Weather aggressively. Not sure why. Only thing I can think of is shadow. Nice job going around them. It did just see the car in front of us do that same move, so it probably was just a copycat move. But it was still good. Will we do it again? We did. Nice job, car. Without a lead car that time. That's awesome. Surprised it's going that fast. This is different. Very polite. Hurry would not have done that. Speed limit 25. It sees it. It changed it. But it's still not slowing down fast enough. Come on, back off. I feel like it just did that because it's turning right. There's a downed cone. Went around. Oh, this is beautiful. Still thinks it's 25, and I think this is where FSD in hurry mode gets messed up too. It's 55 now. Said it's maxed at 36, as if it thinks the speed limit is 30. It knows the speed limit should be faster here. Yeah, somebody just popped up behind me, so I'm going to put it up to 66. Man, he just came out of nowhere. Yeah, he's passing in a no passing zone because I'm going that slow. See, speed limit 40 ahead. So this is definitely 55. I got here at 63%. That was 63.7 miles, took me an hour and 14 minutes. I used 223 watt hours per mile doing that drive. Of course I did. We were driving slower than I normally do. Next place is 50 minutes away, 51 miles, and it says I'll get there at 46%. So I'm going to knock this place out, and I'll be back in just a sec. All right, I forgot what I was sitting at when I went in there. But right now I'm at 62%. Next place, 50 minutes, 51 miles away, and I'll get there at 45%. Huh. Press the button to go, and it turned itself back off. There we go. Feel like it waited too long for that. Yeah, see, now it's slowing down. If we had gotten over just a bit earlier, they would have sped up sooner. We would have been behind them less time and gotten back out of the way. You should have gotten back over, though. That was actually uncomfortable. So I'm used to Hurry. Hurry wouldn't mind getting a little bit closer to the car in front of us. They hit their brakes, and this car just woof, slowed down hard just to maintain that distance. And it was uncomfortable. I'm sure that if I used standard all the time, I would be used to that. That was a long time in the passing lane. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so it looks like that construction is still going on, where this and the highway merge into one lane. We're not going to have that issue again, but Hurry jumped over the chevrons 2 months ago, and it took it correctly last month. Standard took it correctly as well. So Hurry's, I don't think it matters if it's Hurry or Standard. It's just hit or miss right there. It was passing a car pulling a trailer, if I remember correctly, and it was going kind of slow, so Tesla was just like, I'm not waiting for this, and took off. Half a mile, I'm getting off on the right-hand side of the road. Not going to have time for these semis to battle it out. Okay. We came to the far entrance again. Hurry does this. Hurry's turned into the closer entrance before, so it's not a Hurry or a Standard thing. It's just a thing. That's basically the front door. So, oh, maybe not. That's handicapped. And terrible job. Okay, I'm gonna go park. Most of that drive was spent in the passing lane too, which is very surprising for Standard. From my testing, Standard wants to stay out of the passing lane, out of the far left lane. Doesn't matter if it's a 2-lane highway or a 3-lane highway or a 4 or 5 or whatever. Standard wants to do what it can to stay over to the right. That's just the way it seems like it's designed. I got here at 44%. That drive was 51 miles, took me 45 minutes. So far today, I've driven 115 miles, used 233 watt hours per mile. That leg was 240 watt hours per mile. I expected it to be a little bit more because the majority of that was done on the highway. The vast majority. Next place is 47 minutes, 43 miles away, and I'll get there at 30%. So let me knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, I'm all finished in there. Sitting at 42%. The next facility is 47 minutes, 43 miles away. I'll get there at 28%. So let's press the button and get out of here. All right. Car wasn't going to go around that, so I did it. Work convoy stopped in the middle of the road. The car was not going to go around. Still going under the speed limit. That was a hurry problem as well. We're still traveling in the passing lane. I'm so surprised by this. And this time we got over. There's no one behind us. Yeah, there's no one in that lane. Just the semi we just passed. I don't know how to describe it other than someone who's zoned out while they're driving. You know how when you're driving, sometimes you'll get to your destination and be like, how the hell did I get here? Because you don't remember any of the drive. You were just on autopilot. Cute. Whatever. I think sometimes the car does that, where it gets over in the passing lane and then just forgets to get back into the driving lane. See, in this situation, I expect the car to pass this semi and not get back over after we pass that semi, but pass the other semi as well. And then I would expect it to get back over. If it does it, cool. But if it doesn't, it means that it just forgets to get back over. Because again, no one is behind us but the semi we just passed. So I would expect a blinker about right here. Okay. Standard actually slowed down way earlier for that merge than Hurry would have. Yeah, as soon as it sees those brake lights, it hits the brakes rather aggressively. It doesn't need to do that. Yep, that was definitely red. I wouldn't expect that the car saw that because of this big red bus in front of us, but it still ran it. Should not go around. FSD was going to go around a bus that was stopping at a bus stop. Should not do that. See, I think Hurry got into the left lane after we turned right up here at the light, even though the facility was on the right side of the road. See if Standard does that today. Stay in this lane, and no, it jumps out too. Facility's half a mile up on the right. I don't get why it does that. Yeah, it's hitting the brakes awfully hard. All of that wasn't necessary. It could have just stayed in the lane on the right, and it would have been fine. I was going to go for that parking spot. I'm just trying to back up. There's no one behind me. It wants to back up. It says it's in hurry all of a sudden. It tried to switch modes. I put it down to standard. Chill. All right, it's stuck. It can't back up even though it wants to. If I put it in park, no, because then it would try to go to the supercharger in Grand Rapids. So I'll just go park. I got here at 27%. That was 43.6 miles. Took me 47 minutes. I used 225 watt hours per mile. So far today, I've driven 158 miles. I've used 231 watt hours per mile. It's not doing bad. It now says that I'll get to the supercharger in Grand Rapids at 5%. Take me an hour and 11 minutes, and I'll get there at in 65 miles. I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. Thankfully, this car drives itself because I scraped my thumb and it won't stop bleeding, which is very annoying. So I'm going to have to hold some pressure on that until it quits. I'm sitting at 26%. The home supercharger is 1 hour and 12 minutes, 65 miles away. I'll get there at 5%. I'm okay with that. It tried to route me to a supercharger just so I didn't arrive at a low percentage. Yeah, let's hit the button and get out of here. Okay, then. None of that mess was necessary. Human drivers, by the way, are just as bad as FSD messing up. Why would that dude pull out in front of me like that and then slow down? That's crazy. I wonder if I put it in hurry earlier. Would have been nice to move over to the right a little bit on that one. So we're doing 54 and a 55. There's someone behind me and there's plenty of room in front of me. When we came through this way earlier this morning, it maxed itself out at 66. And now it's slowing down. Yikes. We should get over after this semi. Thank you. Did you guys hear about the new Tesla? They're going to strip down a Model Y and make it cheap. They're getting rid of the glass roof. That's the most striking thing to me, is they're getting rid of the glass roof and just putting on a conventional roof on a car. That's got to be weird. I'd be curious to know how that affects efficiency from the air conditioner. This glass roof is still hot. It's uncomfortable to touch. It's not like melting hot, but it's uncomfortable. It says it's 93 degrees outside. My watch says 85. So a 8-degree heat index with wind blowing, I mean, it's crazy. But if this wasn't beaten down and causing all kinds of problems with the heat inside the car, then the air conditioner wouldn't have to work as hard. And I'm assuming it's the same in the winter, where the glass roof lets heat escape. And that means the heater has to work harder. So maybe it'll make it a more efficient Model Y. I don't know all of the stats completely off the top of my head, but there was a stripped down Model 3 that they made for the Mexican market, that they took out everything. Like, the seats are cloth, not leather. This divider part is open, kind of like the Cybertruck is. The rear screen is gone. There's no Alcantara anywhere. I don't think so. I think they took out the lighting, just trying to make the car as cheap as possible. But if there's less electronics to run in the car, that's less the battery has to use. And there's no alternator in this car, just so everybody knows. All of the stuff in the car runs off of in my car, it's a 16-volt battery. It runs off of that. And that gets recharged by the drivetrain battery pack, the big battery under the car, in case people didn't know. So if you've got less electronics running in the car, like, this back screen is roasty toasty. So it's pumping out some heat, which means it's using some power. And if you don't have that power there, you should be fine. There's no cooled seats, I believe. They took those out. They might still be heated, but I think the cooled seats are gone. I believe they said they still have the front bumper camera. That's new with the Model Y now, and the S and the X. The 3 is the only one that doesn't have the front bumper camera now. Last I heard, that front bumper camera is not being utilized for FSD. I'm sure it will be in the future. I feel like Standard still wants to speed, but it's less concerned about keeping up with the pack. So all these cars were pulling away, and Standard wasn't going faster to keep up with them. It was just, hey, I'm cool at 70 or 71. I don't need to go any faster than that, which I'm all right with. Pack driving, when I was in driver's ed, pack driving was frowned upon because that's where the accident was most likely to happen. If there was a pack of cars in front and a pack of cars in the back, you should be in the middle of the pack. That way, if they crash, you can stop. If they crash, it doesn't affect you. Where'd that burst of speed come from? But Hurry would do the same thing. Just chilling back there at 73, 74, and then suddenly we're at 78, 79. Luckily, the car knew that it was going to take a left exit, and it didn't try to ride in the middle lane because that's where Standard enjoys driving. It stayed to the left so it could get off here just fine. Oh, there's a wait at the supercharger. Dang. It's got 8 stalls. 7 because one of them doesn't work. I've never come here when there was a wait. Oh, now it says 3 are available. Okay, that worked out. 1, 2, 3, 4 are available. Stall 2D is out of order. I wonder if 3 people literally just unplugged and booked. Let me plug in. I'll be right back. All right, that last leg was 65 miles. Took me 1 hour and 9 minutes. I used 218.8 watt hours per mile. That's amazing. Today's trip was 224 miles. I used 228 watt hours per mile. That's beautiful. I got here at 5%. I'm going to charge up to 80%. So Moses, you let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. Was it what you expected, or were you expecting something else? I'll tell you, my surprises today were that the car went a little bit faster than I expected. Just a little bit. But it still camped in the passing lane more than I expected. I feel like it was driving in the passing lane more than it was driving not in the passing lane. I think Standard is just hurry, but a little bit slower. It still has the same quirks and problems that hurry has. It's just slower at doing it, if that makes sense. So me personally, I'm going back to hurry because I'd rather get to my destination quicker. I didn't see Standard go over 80 on the highway. It was mostly running at 79. There were some times where it hit 80 and cruised there for a couple of miles, but it wasn't major. I was surprised it didn't pass and then get over. It did pretty good in the heavier traffic on the way back home. It found a gap, got over, and let people pass, which is kind of nice. I'll give them that. So my dream, and I know this probably isn't going to happen, is they combine Standard and hurry, give us a mode called Standard Plus. I know I've said this before, where it goes the speed of hurry, but uses the lane choices of Standard. That would be the perfect mode for me, in my opinion. I'm sure there's people out there who want a mode that's in between chill and Standard as well. Maybe someday Tesla will come up with that mode. I'm sure as soon as everything goes completely unsupervised, there won't be a choice in what happens. So I don't see that they'll ever give us an in-between mode, a Standard Plus, a chill plus. But hey, that's just my opinion. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, there's that other button. If you think somebody else would like it, share it with them. And if you really liked it, hit the subscribe button so you can see more. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as I can. As always, thank you for watching. Deuces. Wonder how many times people wonder what the hell I'm talking about, because my arms are flailing around. I'm pointing at stuff, gesturing, and I've cut it all out because I'm like, what does that have to do with FSD and why am I talking about it?